Hello, dear friends. Today we are going to talk about how personal transformation really works, and why many methods you may have tried before did not bring the desired results. Many of us have sought answers on the esoteric path of self-discovery, but often this has only served to complicate an already confusing life. Some have turned to magical practices, hoping to achieve their goals. However, this path inevitably leads to karmic consequences. When the object of influence realizes the manipulation, the forces holding back the artificial influence break down, and the universal law of justice turns on the feedback. There were also those who believed that human consciousness could be controlled at will. But even this approach turned out to be a dead end. Why? Because all these methods ignore the fundamental laws of interaction between the human mind and the universe. Today, science is revealing surprising facts. It turns out that our body is not just a physical shell. It is a complex biocomputer, where DNA acts as a carrier of information. As Elon Musk noted, just 1 gram of DNA can store 700 terabytes of data. This is not just a metaphor. It is a scientific fact. Ready to get started? Let's together open the door to a world where your desires naturally materialize through understanding and applying the universal laws of the universe. Welcome to our course on scientific personal transformation. Today we are going to talk about a revolutionary discovery in quantum biology and its application to personal growth. As Nobel laureate physicist Richard Feynman said, "Nature doesn't fool us. We fool ourselves when we think we understand it with the limited categories of ordinary thinking." Indeed, recent scientific research is opening up amazing possibilities for us. Elon Musk recently made a startling statement. DNA is a storage medium, a kind of hard disk. Your body is a walking computer, capable of storing up to 700 terabytes of information in a single gram of DNA. This is not just a metaphor, it's a scientific fact confirmed by research in quantum biology. Bruce Lipton, PhD in biology and author of the best-selling book The Biology of the Leaf, explains our cells are constantly responding to our thoughts and beliefs. DNA is not just a genetic code, it's an antenna receiving and transmitting information in a quantum field. Imagine this. Every cell in your body emits an electromagnetic field within a radius of 3 meters. You are literally surrounded by an information field that interacts with the universe. As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, you don't just exist in the universe exists within you. Tony Robbins, who has studied this phenomenon, says, "State determines destiny. It is not your intentions, but your energetic state that attracts the appropriate events into your life." The practice of quantum synchronization begins with a 15-minute morning meditation. But it's not just relaxation. It's a scientifically proven process of tuning your DNA to the frequency of your desired outcome. You are literally programming your cells for success. It's important to realize your current limitations are often linked to epigenetic memory passed down through generations. Studies show that ancestral trauma can affect gene expression for up to 14 generations. But the good news, these programs can be overwritten. Dr. Bruce Lipton explains, epigenetics proves it. Our beliefs and perceptions literally reprogram our DNA. We are not victims of genetics. We are masters of our biology. Let's break down a specific quantum reprogramming technique. As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, when you change your energy state, you are literally tuning into another timeline where your desires have already been realized. Let's start with a morning practice. The first 20 minutes after waking up is when your brain is in a theta state, ideal for reprogramming. Neurobiology professor Andrew Huberman explains, in this state, the brain's neuroplasticity is at its maximum, allowing new neural connections to be made at an incredible rate. Here's the step-by-step protocol. The first 5 minutes is deep breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system and prepares the DNA for reprogramming. The next 5 minutes are high-frequency activation. Recall a moment of deep gratitude or love. As Dr. Roland McCready of the Mother Heart Institute explains, the state of gratitude creates heart rate coherence, which directly affects gene expression. Then 5 minutes of quantum visualization. But don't just visualize what you want. Feel yourself already living in that reality. Neuroscientist Candace Pert has proven every emotion creates a specific set of neuropeptides that literally reprogram your body cells. The last 5 minutes are integration. Winner's pose, deep breathing, gratitude. Professor Amy Cuddy of Harvard has shown that even 2 minutes in confidence pose changes hormone levels and brain activity. Now on to working with obstacles. Often when trying to change, we encounter internal resistance. This is normal. It activates an ancient survival program in the limbic system of the brain. Dr. Rick Hansen, neuropsychologist, explains the brain is like Velcro for negativity and Teflon for positivity. It's an evolutionary mechanism, but we can reprogram it. Throughout the day, practice quantum pauses, short moments of mindfulness every 2 to 3 hours. Check your frequency. What reality is your attention focused on? What emotions are dominating? Remember Albert Einstein's words, everything in this world is a vibration. Align with the frequency of the reality you want, and it will inevitably become yours. The results of this practice manifest through synchronicities, chance, coincidences, unexpected opportunities, spontaneous solutions to problems. As Carl Jung says, synchronicities are moments when mental and physical realities intersect, showing us that we are on the right path. Remember, your body is a quantum computer of incredible power. Every cell contains all the information of the universe. You don't need to create the reality you want. It already exists. Your task is to tune into its frequency and let it manifest through you. At the next session, we will learn advanced techniques of quantum synchronization and learn how to accelerate the process of transformation. In the meantime, start with basic practice and watch your reality change. Advanced morning practice. Quantum coherence, 7 minutes. Deep breathing in a 4-4-6 rhythm. Activation of cardiac coherence. Tuning into the frequency of abundance. Timeline of success, 8 minutes. Visualizing multiple realities. Choosing the optimal timeline. Integration of the chosen option. As Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, when you change your energy state, you are literally rewriting your destiny on a quantum level. Quantum coding, 10 minutes. Activation of DNA through sound vibrations. Recording of new programs through images. Fixing through bodily sensations. Harvard University professor Helen Langer notes, our bodies do not distinguish between real experience and vivid imagination. Each visualization creates real neural connections. Techniques for dealing with obstacles. When resistance arises, use the quantum leap. Recognize the resistance. Find its root in the body. Apply quantum transformation. Dr. Gabor Mate explains, every symptom is a message. Every resistance is an unlived part of our experience waiting to be integrated. Advanced synchronization technique, quantum compass, is a method of tuning into optimal reality. Enter the alpha state. Visualize the compass of possibilities. Feel the pull toward the best option. Follow this impulse throughout the day. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, author of The Concept of Flow, says, optimal experience occurs when we are fully attuned to our chosen direction. Dr. Deepak Chopra states, every night is a quantum leap. In sleep, our consciousness naturally synchronizes with a field of infinite possibilities. The story of Alexander, an entrepreneur, demonstrates the power of these techniques. Faced with a serious business crisis, he applied the quantum transformation protocol. The result? Within a month, an unexpected solution to financial problems. Ideal partners emerged, opening new lines of business. As neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explains, when we change our perception, we literally change our brain chemistry. This, in turn, changes how we interact with reality. An important reminder from Max Planck, the founder of quantum theory, consciousness is fundamental. Matter is derived from consciousness. We cannot pass for consciousness. Everything we talk about, everything we think exists, postulates consciousness. In the next session, we'll break down quantum prediction techniques and methods for accelerated materialization of what you want. In the meantime, practice these advanced techniques and track the changes in your reality. Remember, you are not just changing your life, you are tuning into an already existing version of yourself where all your desires have already been realized. Welcome to the advanced level of quantum transformation. Today, we will dive into techniques that allow us to not just change reality, but literally envision and create optimal versions of the future. Stephen Hawking once said, "The most amazing thing about quantum mechanics is that the observer influences the observed simply by the fact of observation." Let's look at how to use this principle to actively create a desired future. Quantum prediction technique time sweep. Step 1. Quantum scan. Enter the alpha state through slow breathing and counting down. Visualize the timeline in front of you. Allow information from the future to flow to you. Note the first intuitive signals. DNA is highly programmable, like a computer, and we can program a whole range of complex behaviors using DNA molecules. It is a hard disk, the memory in every cell of every living organism. It is a digital storage medium, a sequence of a discrete four-letter alphabet. DNA can be considered a digital medium because it encodes information as a sequence of nucleotides. The four letters are about the fact that DNA is made up of four types of nucleotides, which are denoted by the letters A, adenine, T, thymine, CD, cytosine, and G, guanine. These letters form different combinations that encode information about proteins and other molecules needed for the body to function. When you begin to realize this deep connection to the quantum field of the universe, something magical happens. You realize that any pattern of behavior, any program can be changed. Through meditation and conscious practices, you create new neural connections, activate the desired genes, and literally reprogram your reality. The transformation process begins with a morning ritual, 10 minutes of quantum tuning, 5 minutes of intention activation, and 5 minutes of direct DNA programming. During the day, you simply maintain a state of flow, noting synchronicities and manifestations of what you desire. In the evening, a short integration of the experience and programming for the night. When the transformation begins to work, you notice amazing changes. Events appear as if by themselves. The right people appear by chance. Solutions come effortlessly. Old fears dissolve, new abilities appear, intuitive understanding of what is happening grows. It is important to understand, you are not creating a new reality. You are tuning into an already existing version of events where your desires are realized. Your DNA works as a quantum receiver and transmitter, capable of rearranging matter itself in accordance with your intention. Imagine this. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel creates a specific quantum field. When you hold a high frequency of thinking, focus on the desired result with a feeling of deep gratitude. You literally become a magnet for corresponding events and opportunities. This is not magic or mysticism. It is the quantum mechanics of personal transformation, validated by modern science. Your body is the perfect tool for creating the desired reality. You just need to learn how to properly utilize its incredible potential. On the cusp of a new era of humanity, we are faced with a startling discovery. Our collective trauma is much deeper than we thought. Modern science has discovered that epigenetic memories of trauma are passed down through DNA over 14 generations. This discovery completely changes our understanding of human psychology and social processes. Imagine, every cell in your body stores not only your personal memory, but also the experiences of previous generations. This information influences our reactions, fears, and even how we perceive the world. When we talk about the historical trauma of enslavement, we're not just talking about social memory, we're talking about literal DNA programming. Professor James S. Gates, Jr., a distinguished physicist and former science advisor to President Obama, along with a team of quantum physicists, is exploring what he calls the space-time ether, the quantum field that permeates all of existence. Their research reveals we are all connected at the quantum level, and that connection is much deeper than we ever imagined.
Через осознанную работу с квантовым полем, через изменение вибраций наших мыслей и эмоций, мы можем буквально переписать программный код ДНК. Когда достаточное количество людей начнет этот процесс трансформации, мы увидим изменения на коллективном уровне. Мы стоим на пороге великого пробуждения. Впервые в истории у нас есть научное понимание того, как работает коллективная травма и инструменты для ее исцеления. Мы можем освободиться от оков прошлого не через отрицание или забвение, а через глубокое понимание и трансформацию на квантовом уровне. Исследования в области квантовой физики и эпигенетики открывают перед нами путь к истинной свободе. Свободе не только от внешних ограничений, но и от внутреннего программирования, передававшегося через поколения. Это путь к новому человечеству, где каждый может реализовать свой истинный потенциал, не ограниченный травмами прошлого.
Your body is a living receiver-transmitter of quantum information, a kind of biological Wi-Fi. But to use the system effectively requires deep reprogramming at the DNA level. Random successes are possible, but stable results require an understanding of quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is not a theoretical concept, but a proven physical phenomenon. When two particles enter a state of entanglement through a parabolic transformation, they begin to behave as one, regardless of the distance between them. The change of state of one particle is instantly reflected on the other, overcoming the limitations of the speed of light. What we perceive as the material world is actually only a tiny part of the reality available to our perception. We see only a narrow spectrum of light, but there are trillions of electromagnetic waves constantly pulsing around us. All of reality is made up of these waves and consciousness, two fundamental components of existence that interact to create what we call matter. Your DNA is able to resonate with these waves when its frequency matches the frequency of the surrounding electromagnetic fields. At such times, there is a direct transfer of information from the quantum field into your consciousness. This is not mysticism, but a natural mechanism of receiving information from the universal database that constantly surrounds us. Every electromagnetic wave carries information, and all information that has ever existed or will ever exist is already present in the quantum field of the universe. We are literally swimming in an ocean of information, and our task is to learn how to tune into the right frequencies to access it. Understanding these principles opens the door to consciously controlling reality through the quantum field. When you realize that your body is not just a physical object, but a complex quantum receiver-transmitter capable of interacting with the information field of the universe, you get access to limitless possibilities of transforming your reality. This process requires patience and practice, but the results can exceed all expectations. After all, you are not just working with matter. The subconscious mind can be thought of as a quantum storage of information, where each trauma creates a distortion in the personal matrix, a kind of error in the code. These distortions manifest themselves as destructive behavioral patterns, limiting beliefs, emotional blocks, and negative life scripts. Through special subconscious immersion techniques and telepathic reading, it becomes possible to detect the primary trauma. That is the moment when the distortion in the matrix occurred. To realize the essence of the contract concluded then, usually it is an unconscious agreement to limit oneself for the sake of survival or safety. To dissolve this contract at the quantum level, releasing the energy bound in it. Rewrite the matrix, creating a new, positive pattern. Such deep transformation takes place at the level of the quantum structure of the personality, which leads to fundamental changes in all spheres of life. A person literally rewrites his basic code, freeing himself from subconscious enslavement and opening access to his true potential. This is not just psychological work, it is a quantum reprogramming of reality through the correction of errors in the personal matrix. By combining personal work on reprogramming your DNA for success with my deep telepathic reading, you have a chance to free your soul at the deepest quantum level. Sign up for a consultation and learn more about my signature personal transformation program.